shooting in South Florida. 9 people were injured when 2 groups of people on the Hollywood Beach boardwalk began shooting at each other. The U.S. is working to ensure Sweden's bid to join NATO is approved. Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited Sweden today and had this to say.
Sweden, again and again, has proven its commitment to NATO, to its values, to its mission, to its members.
He believes approval could happen in the coming weeks ahead of a NATO summit in Lithuania in early July. This is USA News.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text PRIDE to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text PRIDE to 321321. That's PRIDE to 321321.
Elizabeth Holmes, the tech entrepreneur behind the blood testing startup Theranos, has reported to a federal prison in Texas. She was convicted of defrauding investors in the company out of hundreds of millions of dollars. Holmes will serve an 11-year sentence at a minimum security women's prison camp outside of Houston. A convicted killer and former follower of Charles Manson is getting approved for parole. A California state appeals court overturned a veto by Governor Gavin Newsom. He previously had prevented Leslie Van Houten from being paroled. However, she is not being released immediately. The state can still appeal the decision to the California Supreme Court. The Iowa governor is stepping up to help victims in a recent building collapse where 5 people are still missing.
Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds is issuing a disaster proclamation for Scott County after an apartment building partially collapsed in Davenport in eastern Iowa along the Mississippi River. The measure lets victims apply for grants of up to $5,000 for households affected by the collapse. It also helps victims get in touch with disaster care managers to get guidance or services for recovery. I'm Lance Pry.
Mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear war. That's the warning coming from leaders in artificial intelligence along with academics. A statement from the Center for AI Safety highlights the concerns about the dangers of an unregulated AI. I'm John Schaefer, USA News.
As a dentist, I know what my patients are saying during times when they really can't speak.
Mm-hmm.
She says her gums are irritated.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you can do? Absolutely. You can try New Crest Advanced Gum Restore.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, New Crest Advanced Gum Restore. It detoxifies below the gum line to restore your gums back to health in just 7 days.
Oh,
Exactly. Healthy gums, healthy mouth.
New Crest Advanced Gum Restore. Healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
The following is an America Matters media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
Now she's gone like a riddle in a song, all the way to MIA, where she thinks that she belongs. Poof. Now she's gone like a riddle in a song, all the way to MIA, where she thinks that she belongs.
Welcome to What's the Story? My name is Janice Hermson, and this is our second hour on Tuesday, May 30th, 2023. And I am here with Ed Knoll, Doug Ashby, and our very special guest, Miss Carter, who is the author of 2 books currently and already worked on her 3rd one. It's all ready to go. It's in edit, and you got beta readers reading and all sorts of things.
You're right there
on.
with Guardians of the Galaxy. Right? Joe.
Okay, if you say so. Yeah. All right. And Mist is a retired corporate manager who became a Christian patriot following her retirement. And that's something that I'm looking forward to you sharing that part of your story. So let's get right into the interview and let's talk a little bit about how you feel about how this all happened, as far as going from, and I don't know the total background as far as your story goes. Were you a Christian ever, or?
Well, went to Sunday school. And,
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
God and I were like this. No, I just led a life like most people that are away from God live. Live for yourself type deal. And
So you were a human resources manager, right?
yes,
Okay.
workaholic.
Oh.
And at the time, more Democrat in my politics, but not rabid. I was just there. I just
Kinda like a
I
moderate.
just voted. That's
Like a
all.
moderate
I didn't
Democrat.
watch the news or anything. I just voted
Gotcha.
for the wrong people. But anyway,
You had a bias.
I actually got saved on an airplane on a business trip in 2004, and my life completely changed. And I realized I couldn't do the kind of work I was doing, firing people, ruining their lives. I couldn't do that anymore. I had been good with budgeting, so I decided I'm retiring, and I did, and started going to a church, and God put me on a fast track and started teaching and writing Bible studies. Well, I hadn't written before except termination papers and
That's uplifting,
and
isn't
sexual.
it?
Yeah, I just got the.
I'm kind of interested. You said that it was all happened on an airplane. What specifically happened? Were you going to crash? And you said, "Oh God," and that's when it started.
No, I Cliff Note version. I was in a really bad mood actually. Decided to take a morning flight home from Vegas, Sin City, and the plane was almost empty, eerily so. And the door closed. Then the door opened, and this woman walks down. I'm thinking, don't sit here. Don't sit. I'm on the aisle seat. I'm in a bad mood. I'm on the aisle seat. And she could have sat anywhere. And she says, that window seat taken? I said, sure. Sit down. Anyway, she got to talking and asked me, she goes, do you have a relationship with God? I go, yeah, we're good. I went to Sunday school, like I said.
Yeah, and your first thought was, "Oh, Jesus, I'm
Yeah,
sorry."
yeah. There you go. And she had been a pastor's wife and whatever, and that long story that she had told, and said that she had cancer. I was getting off at Sacramento, and she was going on to Oregon. Well, we got to talking, and she just told me how her life had completely changed and whatever. So, I kind of engaged in a little bit of conversation. And I said, what do you mean a relationship? And she just said, you just, surrender your life to Christ. And
That's really interesting.
it was interesting. So plane lands, she goes on her way. Oh, we exchanged, she gave me a phone number of a friend who had a book on business or something like that. And I just wrote it down. This woman's name was Patricia or Pat or something like that. So I couldn't get her out of my mind. Couldn't get this conversation, this person out of my mind. I decided to go home to finish work instead of going to the office. I got home, I just fell on my knees, and that was it. I just said, my whole life changed. And I called this good friend of mine that, he had been a devout Christian, and I just said, Les, you're not going to believe what I just did. And he goes, I've been praying for you for 9 years.
That's a long, slow pitch.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Well, I'm a slow learner. So anyway, I decided I can't do this kind of work and whatever. So went on, got quite involved in a church, and then, like I said, writing Bible studies and giving not your typical ones by any means, but and then I don't know. So strange though, I gave this phone number. So my last day of work, I called this woman, and I just said, I'm trying to get a hold of this Pat. She gave me your number, whatever. I gave her my number to call. I gave her my work number. I think this woman was an angel on the plane. I swear. I swear. That's.
Was she sitting on the wing?
I, That's an
How long
interesting
ago
story.
was that?
2004.
Wow, that's a long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
17 years.
Mhm.
That's,
But I'm
that's
a
really-
late
yeah,
bloomer.
it's got- yeah.
Late bloomer to patriotism too.
So
you
it's
know,
okay, right? I think, when we realize things, we do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's what they always say is the good Lord works in strange and mysterious ways. And boy, you're here to certainly say that's
Yeah.
true, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm still a sinner, okay? Don't that's
Yeah.
not, you know.
Oh, that's
But
funny.
anyway.
All right. Well, we're going to talk more about your two books that
Okay.
you've written, kind of what you're doing now
Okay.
and what's on the horizon for you. But we're going to go ahead and take a break right now. We will be right back.
Call Sursic Dental because you're worth it. They can make your smile perfect. You're gonna love your new smile. Sursic Dental for a perfect smile.
Sursic Dental has a $125 special that includes a cleaning, x-rays, a free Sonicare toothbrush, and a free cosmetic makeover consultation.
Sursic Dental for a perfect
Call
smile.
827-1113.
At Northern Nevada Family Dental, we are proud to announce a wide range of advanced dental services by way of the Photona Lightwalker laser. The Lightwalker laser can efficiently and effectively treat most periodontal problems from deep persistent pocketing to peri-implantitis and a multitude of conditions in between. Have cold sores? We can inhibit the cycle of the virus and sometimes even prevent them from occurring. Do you have a snoring or CPAP problem? Through the amazing healing power of light, we can treat tissues inside the mouth without anesthesia, appliances, or cutting, so that after just one treatment, most people sleep better and quieter that same night. By using the power of the laser intraorally, we can also smooth facial wrinkles and tighten sagging necklines, all without you having to be numb, and there's no downtime. It can even be done on a lunch break. Through the FDA-approved Power of Light, these treatments and many more are now available at Northern Nevada Family Dental in Sparks. Have I piqued your interest? Give us a call at 626-7772 or visit us at northernnevadafamilydental.com.
Hi, I'm Noreen Leary, CEO of the Veterans Guest House. Guest House is a home away from home for our veterans and their families who travel to Reno for medical care. Our house is more than just a warm bed. It's a place of camaraderie where veterans can find support and long-lasting friends. We serve veterans, men and women, young and old, Navy, Army, Marines, Coast Guard, and Air Force. Wherever they hail from and whatever their circumstance, the Veterans Guest House is ready to support them. The reason we feel so strongly about our mission is that we know that many veterans would forgo their medical treatments because they simply can't afford the accommodations. The Guest House is one of a kind in the country, funded entirely through private donations. Want to know how you can help? There are many ways you can be involved, from volunteering, providing dinners, or supplying items from our wish list. Find out more about the Guest House at www.veteransguesthouse.org. Serving veterans today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
My name is Stephanie Phillips, and I'm running for United States Senate. I'm a Blue Star mom, a small business owner, and a 30-year resident of Nevada. I am committed to defending your liberty and freedoms, protecting our children, honoring our veterans, and upholding our Constitution. I'll be your warrior fighting for you and your family, but I can't do it alone. I need your help. Please visit phillipsfornevada.com to donate now. Thank you for your support.
Want to expand your advertising dollar? Sponsor this or any America Matters program by calling 775-827-8900, extension 2. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? My name is Janice Hermson, and we are here today with our very special guest, Miss Carter, who has written 2 different books. The first one is called Our Crumbling Foundation, Will God Cancel Us? And so, I got to remember where my camera is. There's my camera. Yeah, and you can pick this up online. You can get it in an ebook on Google. And Mist, I just am really interested to hear you answer Doug's question because I know he has a good question for you. Fire away, Doug.
We talked about this, and it's really not fair, I guess, to let her peruse the question before we're on the air, but it's very, very apropos, and I'm sure she's been asked this many times before. She says, "Will God cancel us?" And I said, "That's one heck of a word, cancel. What does God do to cancel something?"
Well, we're in a cancel society, cancel culture. And so we're canceled for silly things, but God's in control of everything. He puts in Romans chapter 13, he puts leaders into position. And we scratch our head and go, why'd you put that guy in? But for a reason, either to wake us up, to do something about it, or as a punishment for putting him on the shelf. Because our country, founded on godly principles and all the Federalist Papers, the Constitution, all the founders' writings and documents, all relate to God and have it be formed on a Judeo-Christian nation. And we have turned our back completely on that. I mean,
except every building. I mean, I remind people, if you go to every building or pull out a dollar bill or a penny, it's in God we trust.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, they've tried to cancel it.
They've tried to cancel it and what have you. So how much patience does God have with us? Aborting babies and doing all the things that we're doing. You know, how much patience? So in the whole Bible is full of just the history of societies and empires and you know, are they around now? Is the Babylonian Empire around? Is the Assyrian Empire around now? Is the Roman Empire around now?
Yeah.
That's canceling.
Okay. All right. Well, I kind of take exception to say that this is across the board. The last I read was about 2 years ago. There are 2 religions that are still growing very, very fast. One of them is the Catholic religion, and it grows very, very fast just by birth. And the other is Mormonism. And Mormonism grows because of their missionary program. But there are 2 good examples of religions that are growing, and there's a lot of people involved.
I know you'll hate my question, right? I mean, growing religions aren't necessarily good. That has nothing to do with folks getting in tune with God.
Well,
religion.
Well, and I think there's a direct concept. You don't join a
we may disagree
religion.
on this.
You don't join a religion to sit there, you know.
Pardon me?
I think there's a direct correlation between growing of a religion and people believing in a religion. But now, with that being said,
I mean, lots of people go to church, just like we were talking about, every Sunday, who profess, right? These are the folks I hate because I hate hypocrisy. I hate folks that say they walk the walk and don't walk the walk. And that's 95% of churchgoers.
Yeah, they walk it on Sunday or whatever.
Yep,
day
and
they
I
go to
cannot, I personally can't do it.
What?
Because of that.
Because of hypocrisy?
Because of hypocrisy.
Well, I'll tell you what. You come on over and sit next to her because she saw the same thing that you did, and she's doing something to change
She sees
it.
the same thing I see now.
She is doing something to change it, and you could do the same thing.
But I think you're missing the point of the books.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a religious book.
Well, no, I think that's why people are going to read it. I think that's great.
It's a truth-telling book. It's to wake us up. It's all what has been going on. I was motivated to do this when, I actually got it tipped me over when he took office and canceled the, speaking of cancel, the Keystone Pipeline.
You're talking about Biden.
That put me over the edge. So my motivation for writing it was when Biden took office. And to see all the
That was
hypocrisy and
Our Crumbling Nation?
Yes.
That's when you did that? Okay.
And
that was your first
that
book.
was the
That's
first
a
book.
short book.
That's a short book. That's the first 4 months of his administration.
Okay.
So it has, I saw the hypocrisy of the laptop from Hunter, no accountability there, and then his campaign from the basement. And
the
then he
little
takes
circles.
office, and
And
he's
the
a president that yells at me and then does this crazy whispering.
And smelling.
It's crazy. So anyway, he started dismantling everything that Trump had done as far as bringing our nation forward. And he just, out of hate, they do it out of hate. And I couldn't stand it. So it's all his executive disorders that he wrote, 45 in the first 15 days of his administration.
So when you've been in government 45 years and are worth $8 million, right? And you've worked for government all that time, that doesn't add up. Ask Doug, when you worked for government all that time?
I did.
You got $8 million like Joe?
No, but what I always you hit the nail on the head. Now, Biden's been in government for 47 years. We need somebody that has not been in government, so we elected Trump. He's never held a public office except for the presidency. And we go, oh my God, listen to him. Listen to the way he talks. Yeah, he's never been in
like other
politics.
people.
He steps
He
forward
talks
and
like
tells
other
the
people
truth.
talk.
Yeah,
He said things that people felt.
That's
and
right.
yet
And
they
he
hate
a level that others don't.
Yes.
Right? I mean, look at his base now.
Well, what did they expect when they got somebody that was out of government? He spoke the truth. He didn't lie to you.
So there's all kinds of those rich dudes on the left side that are just like Biden, right? They're individual, Mr. Soros, or we can go into all kinds of them. They're not truth tellers either.
No.
So for somebody who maybe didn't track what Biden was doing in those first 4 months and maybe has just kind of come around to, oh, shoot, I better pay attention. Will this help them by reading this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the sequel picked up from April and went to through about February of 2022 and goes into much more detail about what's in the first book, but really gets into the COVID pandemic and education and our foreign policy and the withdrawal from Afghanistan, the whole timeline of that. I mean, there's so much detail in there. And the rush for me to get that out was to get the truth out before the primaries. Well, that didn't work out so well. But
do you think
And that
Biden
is
has a
God's
clue,
truth
or he's
about
weekend
America.
at Bernie's?
I was just
Yeah.
pitching the book a
Oh,
little.
I'm sorry.
God's Truth About America, a sequel to Crumbling Foundation. And again, that's also available on Amazon, all over.
may I say that it's available locally too? And
Yes.
I would like to support.
Yes.
First of all, this supports Tunnel to Towers. I'm not getting money from this. Money's going to Tunnel to Towers, which I believe we should, give back in some way, shape, or form. It's a wonderful foundation, and I would recommend that. I also believe in supporting local businesses. So both of these books are available at LaRue Press on Gregg Street and His Word Christian Bookstore at Sierra Center Parkway. And I really highly recommend people supporting local businesses that way.
And hopefully,
And not supporting Amazon.
Best I know, we are.
So anyway, that's one motivation to,
right. Go ahead. You have a question?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, I know. What?
Yeah, you.
But it's all the hypocrisy on what happened January 6th. I did a whole bunch of research on this, and a lot of stuff that's coming up about COVID and the lab leak and what have you was already in the first book, and the news of that didn't come out for months later. So the truth is out there. This is a concise way to share that so that people get a clue a little bit. Now, it's tough to put these books into the hands of somebody who is more liberal minded. And it's tough to have a conversation with people that are more liberal minded. So in the last chapter of my second book, I have two very powerful questions if you're engaged in a conversation peacefully. Question number one, what are you afraid conservatives and their policies might do to our country? Well, they might pop off with, well, we'll get somebody like Trump and he'll tweet and do all this stuff. Well, just list all the things that he did do. A secure border, a healthy economy, on and on and
So
on.
that's personal. The
Well,
people
right.
that
But their ears are falling off their head because
well,
that's...
my mom's one of them. I'm just saying,
Yeah, but
right?
that's-
I mean, I think he's going to have a tough time because it's high negative. I mean, he's going to push people to vote against him.
I agree.
I
But-
don't think I do.
It's
But we always disagree
but
about that.
anybody that's got their ears off their head is hell bent on listening to one source of media. I mentioned before that I was not a conservative until 2009. What changed was Obamacare. Thinking, what? So something that actually impacted me. I asked about a conservative policy that impacted. Well,
Okay, we're gonna
Okay.
get your second question.
Okay.
After this break.
Okay.
So come back. That's a great tease. We'll be right back on What's the Story.
Have you, a friend, or family member been diagnosed with cancer? Dr. Forsyth at the Forsyth Cancer Care Center offers an all-inclusive program to treat adult types of cancer. The Forsyth Immune Protocol Cancer Treatment Plan, in a current prospective study of over 6.5 years and 1,200 adult cancer patients, has produced a remarkable 30 times greater survival statistic when compared to conventional full-dose chemotherapy. Greater than 95% of all their patients choose low-dose insulin-potentiated life chemotherapy, using only 10 to 15% chemotherapy dosing with insulin. Dr. Forsyth has long been considered one of the most respected physicians in the United States, particularly for his treatment of cancer and the legal use of human growth hormone. Located in Reno, Nevada, Dr. Forsyth has seen patients from all over the world. To schedule your consultation today, call 775-827-0707. That number again is 775-827-0707.
Hey, all you entrepreneurs out there. Whether you have a small business or work from home, LaRue Press offers a virtual office and business address for all your business needs. Located at 280 Gregg Street, Suite 10, LaRue Press is your personal assistant for friendly all-day service. Need a conference room to meet with clients? You got it. With LaRue Press, you also get phone answering service, mail forwarding, package pickup, and even help branding your business. Call LaRue Press at 849-3814 or go online to lrpnv.com.
The Delta and Bonanza saloons in Virginia City are simply elegant. Imagine ascending the grand staircase and being surrounded by the Victorian elegance and grandeur of the historic banquet rooms. Original crystal chandeliers, mahogany bars, and oak dance floors highlight the eloquently appointed spaces. A truly romantic and unique setting for your wedding, banquets, or holiday parties. Detailed ceremony and menu planning ensures your special event is a memorable occasion. With just one call to Jesse at 775-847-0789, all of your arrangements will be handled by their experienced staff with your every expectation in mind, including cakes, flowers, photography, videography, music, and party amenities. Complete ceremony and reception packages are available, as well as their famous themed weddings. Since 1865, the Delta and Bonanza Saloons guests have come from every state in the union. Now it's your turn. No event is too large or too small. Let the Delta and Bonanza Saloons plan your next incredible event. Call Jesse at 775-847-0789.
Barbecue, the Butcher's Kitchen, would like to thank every customer for your loyalty and continued support through these challenging times. Call for takeout and delivery of rib tips, brisket, ahi, tuna, roasted veggies, and much more. Barbecue's open from 11 to 7. Monday through Saturday, and delivers hot food safe and healthy. Call 499-5855 for details. 499-5855 Charbecue, as featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives. Get real. Get into Charbecue Reno.
Wake up, the sun below. Got another road to sow. Let the fire feel the hope swelling up from the depths of my soul.
Unable to listen to the whole show, a recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? I'm Janice Hermson, and we have been having a very interesting discussion with Miss Carter, who is the author of our Crumbling Foundation and God's Truth About America. And you should pick those up if you're here in Reno. There are local bookstores that carry that. Our Word.
Yeah, His Word.
His
Christian,
Word, sorry.
On Sierra Center Parkway.
Okay, in Sierra Center Parkway. And of course at LaRue Press as well. And hopefully soon we've had some phone calls, and hopefully we'll have some other locations.
Sierra Center, that's the Chevron kind of. Is it South Reno?
Yeah. No, it's you're thinking of the other. This is right by Target, actually. Speaking of Target.
Okay. I just wanted to
So if you want itsy, never mind.
Well, you know what? I have to say, I have a Roomba, right? And they have Roomba parts, and I bought them before Amazon acquired them, but now Amazon can look under my bed.
Oh, lovely. Well, they're looking other places too.
Yeah, likely.
Did anybody see any of the comedians that have done things about these bathing suits that have the little tucks? This one comedian, he went in and he put one on, and he pranced around. I mean, talk about making a point. That really made a point. He was ridiculous, and everybody tolerated him. Obviously, they didn't know who he was, I don't think. And, he was, don't I look great? Look at me. And I thought, oh my goodness, if you don't get this after watching this. And the thing, I was listening to another comedian on air today, and he was saying, the thing is, this is a very small portion of the population that is pushing this. This is not a broad, widespread thing.
1%.
And the only people that are upset about this some of them are deranged. I mean, he didn't say that; those are my words. but they're deranged because they're sick within themselves. Anyone who would say that their 2-year-old is another sex, wow, there's something wrong there. There's really, and I think that we're missing making that clear.
So best I know, that should be a red flag law.
Well, because he said,
Right,
yeah,
that's a red
he even
flag
said,
law.
he said, conservatives aren't against transgenders. That's not the point. They're against transgenders for 2-year-olds.
Right.
This is not a child thing. This is when he said the drag shows have been around forever. I remember my dad talking about them, and my dad was,
in San Francisco?
yeah, my dad was very conservative. He'd laugh, right? But that's for grown-ups. That is a whole different game.
Age appropriate
Yes,
space.
exactly. Nobody is objecting to that in the appropriate
We're
situation.
objecting to shoving it down our throats
And
at
our
every
children.
turn. At
That's
every
right. It
turn.
is a democracy.
Yes.
Best I know, 98.5% can squash 1.5%.
Yeah.
Only when it starts to affect them.
Well, and the problem is that we've all become so, quote, sensitive that we're afraid to say no, just flat no. And I just love that this comedian just said it outright. Conservatives don't hate transgenders.
Right.
Conservatives don't hate pride. They may disagree, but as adults, they say, you do what you do, and we do what we do.
It
right?
is a fascinating environment, though. If Doug was at the fire department, he wouldn't be on this radio show talking like he is. If you were at HR, right, everybody works for big.
Right.
I mean, the U.S. government's the biggest employer. Then, right, let's go Microsoft. I just talked to an individual who works for a tech company in Austin, and he's like, there's 4 or 5 folks in his office that are dudes wearing dresses with long hair and beards, and that's like regular business. I mean, They weren't there. Now they're there, and they got medicine taught, right? They got all special needs too. And so it's just like his environment went from Disney to like, I don't know what.
Why don't people step
Disney-
forward when this, somebody,
else.
Ed will say, oh, that offends me. Well, my remark to Ed would be, get over it.
No, company's going to fire you. I'm saying
Yeah.
if you work for big, you're not saying that if you're working for LA County Fire Department because you're going home.
Well, I can give you a specific because in my fire station, there was a young lady that decided she wanted to be a man. A kind of a tragic story. She went to, no, it is.
They all are.
She went through all of the treatment. She went to all of the counselors. She did all of that. She went down this road and was doing it. Well, as luck may have it, or as the good Lord directed it, she was put on a rescue squad with a gentleman that was very religious. And as the partners, he just they just started talking just like he could have been an angel, who knows. But now she realizes the error of her ways and she wants to go back. And she says, once you enter that roadway, everybody that you have to go to has a bias towards that. So you're not getting any good input.
But
You
the
can
difference-
totally see it.
But the difference in that individual's case and versus now, she went through counseling. She went through a whole process.
Yes.
Now they're just going, here, take this pill.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's start the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
And
And
don't
that's-
tell your parents.
Right. And that's and there's legislation here in Nevada that's been going on
Exactly.
similar to that. And this is just, it's brutal.
Well, they're
And people aren't hearing it because, of course, they're busy, right? And who has time to jump on Nellis and look at every bill that's out there
Yeah.
and read it?
Yeah.
There's over 1,000 bills that they introduced at the beginning of the session. My goodness, it's crazy. So I get why people don't pay attention. But right now, I think that you have to carve out some time in your life to really look at this. As a
Well-
parent, you really need to.
Well, the
Take turns. Mom
the
1 week,
curtain's
dad the next.
been pulled back, and there's some revelation going on that hasn't been, because we've just laid down and let the liberal world take over.
Right.
But now with COVID, there was a blessing in disguise by exposing what's going on in the schools. And so now that's exposed and we're fighting back. It's the same, we ignore things. You wonder why people vote the same way all the time, like especially liberals just keep on voting. They're exposed
Well, I
to,
think that conservatives do the same thing.
exactly, but
I
they're
think that
exposed to the same media influence, which is powerful, and nothing really affects them because they don't know the truth about
Right.
really what's going on because it's withheld. And
But,
so wait a minute, once it's exposed, like, oh, I'm paying what for gas? I'm paying what for eggs? I'm paying what for this is starting to affect something's going on. I better take a look. It's only when the school board thing is coming about, what have you. So otherwise they're blind.
But that's our own fumble, right? It's
It
people's
is. It is.
responsibility, and we need to wake up and take our responsibility and go.
I agree. I'm just saying this is a vehicle for truth.
Yeah.
To my second question.
Yes, we don't want to miss that.
Yes, this is powerful. So the first one, they're going, well, whatever, and you can say what the good things that took place. Second question: what conservative policy or leadership action has impacted you in a negative way? And I don't think people will really have an answer to that.
Yeah, they will.
what I have
They'll
found.
all say the Second Amendment.
How
Showing murder victims from mass shootings has impacted me adversely.
how has the policy
Hey,
done?
I
I
can
was just saying
No,
that's
I'm-
I can
but
give
that's
you
where
can
the
I can You know what?
So the first thing that opens up a dialogue is, hey, I don't watch Fox News, but I'm right of center.
Fine.
They'll listen to you on the left. If you say you watch Fox News, that's a shutdown for folks
Well, I
on the
don't
left.
anymore, but
I
thanks for
don't
asking.
either, but-
liberals' answer would be to that.
Go
It's
ahead.
not an answer. What it is it's an accusation. They will go immediately into name calling.
Okay,
oh,
so
well, you're
that's fine, and I agree that the far left will. I think that the moderates you have a better chance, but so the far left start into the name calling. What's the answer to that?
to the name calling.
Yeah.
Well, there is
No,
none.
no, no,
They
no,
don't
no.
listen.
What's your idea to improve it?
Right.
Yeah.
Give me a
Right.
solution.
I think you can't respond to, if there's going to be name calling, you can't respond to that. You have to almost ignore it and not even acknowledge it and move on to
Ask
the
them
next
how
thing.
they're going to
Right.
deal with it. Ask them,
Right.
Most of them on the left, though, right? So they're protest issues. My whole life, right? The left is abortion, bra burning, women's rights, Vietnam War, right? The right doesn't protest. The left protests, and the right's been sitting around for so long that we let the left protest, and we got to learn to protest.
Pro-life protests. There's going to school board meetings protests.
Yes, there are now.
But those just started.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my
I take
point.
exception to that, Ed. I burnt my wife's bra.
On the first date?
Good question. She's the questioner. You have a new title.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Good questions are the solve.
That's right. Good questions are the solve. There you go. That will become our motto.
I like
Good
that.
questions
Yeah.
are the solve.
They are.
All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we do have our book blitz coming up. If we have time, we're going to get some more info out of Miss Carter here, and we'll be right back.
From the depths of my soul, fear not the God.
Businesses, writers, check this out. Go to lrpnv.com to get your printing, publishing, and professional services today. Need a virtual office? A place to receive and forward your mail with professional address and suite number for your business? Someone to answer your telephones? Want to rent a conference room for only $15 an hour? What about that book you've been wanting to have printed? LRP Printing and Business Center can do it for you, and they have a professional assistant on site daily, Monday through Friday. Just call 775-356-1004. Need copies, business cards, invoices, books, booklets, or graphic design to help brand you or your business? Just call 775-356-1004 or go to lrpnv.com. With a great selection of new and used books, you can get your printing done and a book to entertain you in your time off. And don't forget, you could have your business sponsoring the Bookhound Radio Show, just like Andrew Martoni, author of Little Man in the Math, does every week. Just go to lrpnv.com. That's lrpnv.com or call 775-356-1004. They'll provide solutions for your business and writing projects.
Hi, I'm Noreen Leary, CEO of the Veterans Guest House. Guest House is a home away from home for our veterans and their families who travel to Reno for medical care. Our house is more than just a warm bed. It's a place of camaraderie where veterans can find support and long-lasting friends. We serve veterans, men and women, young and old, Navy, Army, Marines, Coast Guard, and Air Force. Wherever they hail from and whatever their circumstance, the Veterans Guest House is ready to support them. The reason we feel so strongly about our mission is that we know that many veterans would forgo their medical treatments because they simply can't afford the accommodations. The Guest House is one of a kind in the country, funded entirely through private donations. Want to know how you can help? There are many ways you can be involved, from volunteering, providing dinners, or supplying items from our wish list. Find out more about the Guest House at www.veteransguesthouse.org. Serving veterans today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
The Delta and Bonanza saloons in Virginia City are simply elegant. Imagine ascending the grand staircase and being surrounded by the Victorian elegance and grandeur of the historic banquet rooms. Original crystal chandeliers, mahogany bars, and oak dance floors highlight the eloquently appointed spaces. A truly romantic and unique setting for your wedding, banquets, or holiday parties. Detailed ceremony and menu planning ensures your special event is a memorable occasion. With just one call to Jesse at 775-847-0789, all of your arrangements will be handled by their experienced staff with your every expectation in mind, including cakes, flowers, photography, videography, music, and party amenities. Complete ceremony and reception packages are available, as well as their famous themed weddings. Since 1865, the Delta and Bonanza Saloon's guests have come from every state in the Union. Now it's your turn. No event is too large or too small. Let the Delta and Bonanza Saloons plan your next incredible event. Call Jesse at 775-847-0789.
now she's gone like a
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? I'm Janice Hermson, and this is our last segment. It's time for the book blitz. This really went fast, you guys.
Yes, it did.
And before we get too far into it, we asked Mist if she wanted to join the fun, and I think she's going to participate as well. But I'm going to head on over here to Doug because Doug is not a blitzer. So we try and force him to be a little quicker.
Yeah, she says you have to do it less than 3 minutes, and I can't even wet my lips.
Didn't
in
we
that
start
time.
with 1 minute in the beginning? Yeah. And now he's got us up to 3.
Well, with the book blitz, I've always tried to, whatever the story or whatever we're going to go over, I tried to branch out. But this morning, from one of my fraternity brothers, he wrote me and he says, "Hey, have I got a book for you?" I said, "Hey, sure." And it's called Mad Honey. It's a novel, and it was brought out in October of 2022. But he has never given me a book written to me and said, "Read this," that has been a bad recommendation. So not only that, when I looked it up, I have never seen a book that has been recommended as much as this. And it's by.
Do you believe those recommendations?
I'm sorry?
Do you believe those recommendations?
Oh, absolutely. Have you read mine, the ones that are on my book?
So, anyway, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'm not going to go there.
This is by Jody Polkolt and Jennifer Boyland, and it has 4 out of 5 stars out of 30,000 reviews. Now, past that, on Goodreads has 184,000, and they were 4.2, and it's been the editor's pick of best literature and fiction. I mean, it's highly recommended. I'll just give you a synopsis very, very quick.
Biased.
Olivia McPhee knows what it feels like to start over. Her picture-perfect life, living in Boston, married to a brilliant cardiovascular surgeon, raising their son, Asher, is upended when her husband revealed a darker side. She never imagined that she would end up back in the sleepy New Hampshire townhome, living in a home she grew up in and taking over her father's bookkeeping business. Lily Campello is a familiar with a do-over too. When she and her mom relocated to Adams, New Hampshire for her final year of high school, they both hoped it would be a fresh start. Mad Honey is a riveting novel of suspense, unforgettable love story, and a moving and powerful exploitation of secrets that we keep and the risks we take in order to become ourselves.
Interesting.
How'd I do?
Pretty good. 30,000 ratings.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a whole heck of
I'm just
a lot.
trying to get 2 more.
The books, but
And
anyway.
this is
Well-
from October of 22.
Yeah.
That's not even a year old
There
yet.
are ways to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
there are definitely ways to do that.
Hell, well, tell me.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do it that way.
You could just put a best I could tell, put a book on every bus.
So
Yeah.
number 1 in fiction sagas, number 4 in family saga fiction, and number 6 in women's fiction. So it's also categories. You got to pick the right categories. All right, you go next.
All right, TikTok is obsessed with a 92-year-old mystery novel,
Which one is that?
Cain's Jawbone. Have you heard of it?
I have not.
Wow. It is written by, let me see, the guy's name is Edward Mathers. It was written in 1934. It's a mystery puzzle. It's been solved by 4 people
Wow.
since 1934. And I know people do Sudoku, they do
Yeah,
crossword
it's for age
puzzles.
13 and
We
up.
talk about solving our biggest challenges, homelessness, right? What Mist is talking about in her books. And here's a biggest challenge.
Wow, it's only $10 on
Kane's
Amazon.
Jawbone. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
it is rated number 29 in books and number 1 in puzzles. I'll
And
bet.
so it's a TikTok thing because it's got pages you have to put the book in order.
Oh my
Right,
goodness.
the pages are out of order
Oh, I'm
too.
gonna have to get this
There's
to
a
my
whole bunch of
granddaughter.
stuff going on with it, obviously.
Yeah.
But for you puzzlers, solve it.
There you go. Yeah, we're looking for the solve. That was a good one.
What do you win?
One looked like I think it was like 25 francs originally, 1,800 francs today.
Hot dogs?
No.
Is it written in English?
All right.
I'm likely you can
Just
find in many languages.
Okay, Mist, you're up.
A couple of books. There's a volume 1 and volume 2 of Spirit of the Antichrist by J.B. Hickson. And these are pretty current. I think they came out last year, about pretty much everything that's going on in our world leading up to end times, but from the evil society that is the elite that's running it. You know, the Soroses, the Bill Gates, the whatever.
Ron Reagan doing his
Yep.
atheist commercials.
Yeah, they're pretty deep. He did a lot of research. The bibliography is huge. Then I was given another book called Global Reset by Mark Hitchcock and Jeff Kinley, and it's a smaller version of the same thing. So for a shorter read, I would probably.
Global Reset. Do current events point to the Antichrist and his worldwide empire? And he's got 565 reviews. That's pretty good. And almost a 5. I mean, it's 4.7. That's awesome. And as far as what categories? 35 in prophecies, Bible study, 37 in Christian eschatology. What the heck?
Is that skin stuff?
Yeah. Get a wax.
56 in Christian social issues. And for my writer friends out there, that it really is important to look at what kind of categories can you put this stuff in, because it will kind of push you up, which helps you, right? I mean, I know it seems like you're cheating a little
That
bit.
sounds like bias.
Well, it is, but it helps you because it brings you up in the ranks, and then the algorithms start to, push you through. And
I
all
know,
that.
but when you
it plays to your audience, though.
So, but
Yeah,
when
it
I
does.
get that, but when your title, right, you twist it feminine because it's a women's thing, and right? I don't know.
Well, it is what it is.
I guess that's true.
So I'm going to be. I found this on our shelf, and I didn't even know we had it. It's On the Road with the Oak Ridge Boys, and I always really like the Oak Ridge Boys. And when I found this, I said, "Oh wow, I didn't even see this one coming in." So I usually do 40 years of untold stories and adventures. And it's told by Joseph S. Bunzal. He's the tenor for the Oak Ridge Boys, lives with his wife and other, and there's 7 cats on a 350-acre
There's
farm.
a red flag.
Wow.
I was gonna say,
That in itself is something,
those
right?
7 cats aren't on the bus, are they?
I don't know.
All right.
I hope not. But, they've been doing this for a really long time. They're very good at what they do. If you don't know who the Oak Ridge Boys are, you should go check them out because they're very good. So that's my quick book blitz. Look at that. We still have a couple of minutes
Wow.
left.
That was
It was. How rare is that? You
we
inspired us.
resemble that remark.
Oh my goodness.
That's really blitzy.
Well, next week we're going to have Nichelle. I'm trying to remember her last name, and I'm sorry I don't, Nichelle. But Nichelle is going to be on. She is working on alternative schooling here in the Northern Nevada area. And she will have with her Sharon Angle. And again, forgive me for not knowing the other gentleman's name, but the two of them helped her with what they're doing. So they will be here next week from 3 to 4. And so they'll be our guests. So we're
Good.
looking forward to that. It goes right along with all the things that you've been talking about, some of this drag stuff. And,
Yep.
it's crazy. We just have to get the world back in order. That's the way I look at
I'll
it.
bring God back into the.
That would
into
be
the fold.
helpful.
Yeah.
That would
Take
be
him off the
helpful.
shelf. Put him back into our lives.
Well, we didn't think he was on the shelf, but
Oh.
apparently we were wrong.
Yeah.
What can I say? And I'm not finding this book I was going to tell you guys. So here it is, On the Road with the Oak Ridge Boys. We got 258 ratings. Isn't that unusual? You'd think something like that would have more because it's been out since 2015.
Well, and I
So-
think that people are fascinated by, like I can't make music, right? I'm
Right.
fascinated by people
Right,
that can sing beautifully or strum an
Yeah.
instrument and create
Well, and-
noise that I can only dream of.
Right.
I
and
can't
knowing
even
the background.
hum.
But here's the interesting bestsellers rank is 228,000, which means he's selling some, but probably not a lot. But 2015, he's still selling. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
104 in country and folk composer biographies, 116 in country music, and 977 in religious leader biographies. That's an interesting category. So
Religious leader biography.
yes, isn't that interesting? So he's considered a religious leader apparently.
don't
Somehow
know,
along
man.
there. Hey, we're running out of time here, but join us again next Tuesday. Thank you, Miss, so much for being
My pleasure.
here.
Oh, thank you.
And,
This has been great.
Very enjoyable.
Awesome.
Go get her books. Go buy them and give
Support
her
Tunnel to
reviews.
Town.
That's right. All right.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Suitcase in hand, hairpin back, him in your head. Hey, sister.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch! Well, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers. If you administer insulin 3 or more times per day or use an insulin pump, call now and learn how a CGM can help you.
Painless. No more pricking.